Hello, today I'm reviewing World War Z, and the storyline of World War Z is United Nations deploy Jerry Langdon versus the world in racing its time to stop the zombie pandemic that is toppling armies and governments and threatening to destroy humanity itself. Now, I kept trying to make up the storyline myself and just messing up, and it wouldn't have made sense, so I just thought, in the end, I'm just going to read it from IMDb. So this is pretty much the story, but more of the story is that Jerry Lane, played by Brad Pitt, is stuck in Philadelphia. He's in Philadelphia, he's in a traffic jam, and there's helicopters flying, and then there's also an explosion happens, and he's stuck in the middle of when the zombie outbreak is happening. It's funny because that opening part isn't even filmed in Philadelphia, it's actually filmed in Glasgow, in a place where I've walked around in Glasgow, so it was funny that it's filmed there. Now, this film is based on the book by Max Brooks. I'm a fan of the book, and this film is only based on the book by title. It's only really by title World War Z. It's not really properly, it has anything from the book. The only things it sort of has is some tiny ideas where it will speak about things about the virus and about a different thing that is in the book. I'm not going to do any spoilers in this. This is going to be a spoiler-free review, but I'm just saying it still speaks about how the virus was spoken about in the book, and it goes to some of the same places that it went in the book, but it's still not how the book was. I was hoping for this film, when at first it was announced, I was someone that was excited for it. I thought, okay, great, they're going to make it exactly how the book was. And then when I saw trailers and stuff, I was like, nope, nothing like the book, because the book is more of interviews with like news reporters, politicians. It's very political, that book is, and it's a book that I really enjoy, and I was hoping when they did it, it was going to be like a, not completely found footage film, but like a more sort of mockumentary, documentary type thing where it would be interviews with these people. You would see the interviews, you would see the events that happened on the news and those type of things. Now this does start with seeing news reports and stuff, but it's more of an action thriller film. It's like, it's a zombie film, but I feel that with this, if this film was not called World War Z, it would do really well with horror fans, because at the moment I just feel like it's not going to do too well with horror fans, and I feel like it's going to be quite a big plummet. I feel like it might do well in cinemas. I think a lot of people will go and see this, but it costs $200 million to make. It's one of the biggest budgeted zombie films ever. It's not really zombies, because these zombies are fast. I'm not saying fast zombies are frightening, because these fast zombies are crazy. Like this one scene which you would have seen in the trailer where they're just piling up ants, and that's one of the most exciting things in the film. Now, this film had a lot of trouble, a lot of rewrites. Drew Goddard is one of even the writers in this. It's got some good writers on it. Drew Goddard is one of my favourite writers, and he's a pretty good writer for this. This had so many rewrites, so many reshoots, and even the third act of the film was cut like at the last minute. They had all the third act written and everything, and there's a completely different ending. But I'm glad they went with the ending that they had, because with the ending that they had before, it was a bit of a strange ending. And with this ending still feels like it's something from a completely different film, but they just completely got rid of the other ending they had, and then really wrote this other ending really quickly. Mark Forster, or however you say his name, helped in this film. Now, I'm not a fan of him after Quantum of Solace. I thought that film was terrible, and I sometimes get people like that, but I thought Quantum of Solace was terrible, and I thought he really messed it up, and they shouldn't have picked him as the director for a Bond film. And with this, I know there was a lot of arguments with him. Brad Pitt had a lot of arguments at one point, and there was like, it was the only way they were speaking to Brad Pitt was through third parties. So this film, I feel, I'm going too much into information that happened. This film has had a lot of trouble, and I'm going to say that you should be most thankful for the people on this film, the two people on this film, the editors, because they must have had the worst job ever because of how many reshoots, how many things happened. They actually made a proper film. There's some editing problems in there, but for them to edit this all together and make it actually a proper film, I think kudos to them, because they did well there, because it's a proper film. There's some parts that feel a little bit off, but I still think they did a good job with what they had. The people you should thank most for this film, the editors, because of how much trouble this film had, how long it's taken to actually get out. It was meant to come out in November last year, actually, at one point, but then it just got held back loads. And I just think this film could have done really well. It could have been a lot better. It could have even gone more into what the book did and stuff. So I'm going to say I enjoyed World War Z for some parts. I enjoyed the first half more than the second half, because the third act of the film feels like something that is from another film, but that's only happening because that was an ending that wasn't meant to be the proper ending. There was meant to be another ending, and then this third one was just like, alright, we're going to put that in now. So I think there's some cool bits in this. I like how the zombies work. It's like there's these zombies that they are attracted by noise and things like that, but I just don't want to go too much into that. I just want to say this has got some good action pieces on this. It's well filmed in parts. Brad Pitt does great performance. Brad Pitt is one of the best things about this whole film. I'm not saying this is one of the greatest films, but it's not a bad zombie film. It's better than It's better than all the Resident Evil films, and I just liked how they were with the zombies. Now, I always like zombies as slow zombies. I always think that zombies will be slow, and with these fast zombies, I think it's more like just an infection. You just can call them zombies. It's sort of like how it's sort of borrowed from 28 Days Later a little bit. It's a good action horror film, and I think horror fans will like this, but I feel that if this wasn't called World War Z and was just a zombie film, I think horror fans would like it a lot more. I feel like it wouldn't have as much slack as it has been getting, because I know there's people that love the book that will be really, really annoyed at this film. I'm annoyed a little bit of it because it has ideas from the book about the virus and everything, but I just wish they had have actually based it more on the book and done more from the book and actually made it a proper, nice film that was straight to the book and actually did everything from the book. It couldn't have done everything because that would have been a very long film and probably would have had been split into 2 films. And I'm going to give World War Z 7.5 out of 10 because I enjoyed it. There's some good parts in it, but I just feel like it could have been a lot better at times. It's a good action film. Don't see it for Brad Pitt's performance. I'm just going to say the third act's very weird. So if you've seen World War Z, say it in the comments below if you enjoyed it. Sorry if this view's a bit longer than usual. I just wanted to sort of probably speak about this film and have my thoughts cross from it because I feel very strongly about this film because of liking the book so much and just then this film just being World War Z by title, not really by anything else. So send the comments down below if you like World War Z, if you're going to see it, are you excited to see it, and just everything. Let's talk about World War Z down there. So that's all for now. Thank you very much. I'll see you later. Goodbye.